Good day to our respective lecturer, Madam Zuraida and fellow friends. Our group will be presenting Chapter 2 on Efficiency.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Ubaidah binti Osman.
And my name is Azrul Haris. We would like to start our presentation on how the normative statements distinguish from positive statements.
Firstly, the meaning of positive economic is a branch of economics which is concerned with economic analysis based on facts and statistical data. It focuses on facts and behavioral relationship of cause and effect, and it avoids value judgment, opinion, or moral and ethical statements.
While the meaning for normative economic is a branch of economics based on values, opinion, and judgment. Hence, the statements can neither be proven right nor wrong.
Secondly, the nature of positive economic is descriptive. Positive economic is descriptive economic because in doing positive economics, our goal is to describe as accurately as possible what is.
Unlike normative economics, the nature is prescriptive. It incorporates subjective analysis and focuses on theoretical situation.
Thirdly, the objective of positive economic is to explain and predict economic phenomena. Positive economic is an objective stream of economic that relies on facts or what is happening.
Meanwhile, the objective for normative economics is to draw ethical judgment concerning economic phenomena.
Fourthly, the study of positive economic is what actually is. It deals with what are the economic problems and how are they solved.
On the other hand, for normative economics, the studies are what ought to be. It is considered the branch of economics that tries to determine people's desirability to different economic programs.
Fifthly, the testing of positive economic statement can be tested using scientific method. This statement can be measured against tangible evidence or historical instances. The validity of a positive statement is verifiable or testable in principle, no matter how difficult it might be.
Meanwhile, the testing for normative economics is the statements cannot be tested and verified. It cannot be verified with actual data.
And lastly, economic issues for positive economic is it clearly describes economic problems and issues.
While normative economics for economic issues is provides solutions for economic problems based on value.
The example of positive economic in Malaysia is the government provided the national COVID-19 immunization program since February 2021, and Malaysia has secured 66.7 million vaccines, covering 109.65% of its population through the COVAX facility and early purchases from 5 COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers, which are Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Sinovac, CanSinoBio, and Sputnik V.
And the example of normative economic is minimum voting age in Malaysia should be 18 years old. As you can deduct from this statement, it is value-based, rooted in personal perspective, and satisfy the requirement of what should be.
In conclusion, each of us must have an understanding on how the economy works. It will allow us to see if our policymakers are making the right economic decision for us. We should be able to know how our behavior and spending habits affect the economy.
Although these two are distinct from each other, they complement each other because one must first know about economic facts before pass to judgment or opinion on whether an economic policy is good or bad. Now, I will pass to the next presenter.
Hi, my name is Noatira Anwar and I would like to share about criterion of economic efficiency. What is economic efficiency? It implies an economic state in which every resource is optimally allocated to serve each individual in the best way while minimizing inefficiency. The first one is Pareto efficiency. It is an economic state where resource cannot be reallocated to make one individual better off without making at least one individual worse off. It is most economically efficient manner but does not imply equality or fairness. For example, an economic contains two people and two goods, apples and bananas. Person one likes apple and dislike bananas, but the more banana he has, the worse off he is. And the person two like bananas and dislike apples. There are 100 apples and 100 bananas available. The only allocation that is Pareto efficient is which person 1 has all the apples and person 2 has all the bananas. Number 2 is allocative efficiency. It occurs when organizations in the public and private sector spend their resource on projects that will be profitable and the best for population. Also promoting economic growth. When all the data affecting a market accessible, companies can make decisions about the projects might be profitable and manufacturers can concentrate on producing products that desired by the general population. Based on the graph, allocative efficiency materializes at the intersection of the supply and demand curve. At this equilibrium point, the price offered for a given supply and exactly match the demand for that supply at the price, and so all the product are sold. For example, there is business that in manufactures car called Michael's Motor. Each car that they sold at the price of $20,000. In 2019, the firm manufactured 100 cars in the year. At the same time, they had 100 orders come in, allowing them to sell all the stock they had. This is allocatively efficient from the consumer side as there is no excess demand for the product. In other words, no customer is going without. So, what stopped Michael Motors from producing even more cars in the year? Well, at 99 cars, it was still costing them less $20,000 to make an additional unit. The 100 car they made cost them $20,000 to make, meaning they would not make any profit on it. Therefore, at this point, we see allocative efficiency from the producer's perspective. Number 3 is productive efficiency. It refers to a level of maximum capacity in which all resources are being fully utilized to generate cost-efficient product. It is concerned with producing goods and services with the optimal combination of inputs to produce maximum output for a minimum cost. To be productively efficient means the economy must be producing on its production possibly frontier, which it is impossible to produce more of one good without producing less of another. The PPF curve shows the maximum production level for each good. If an economy cannot make more of a good without lowering the production of other good, then a maximum level of production has been reached. Points A and B are productively efficient. Point D is inefficient because you could produce more goods or service with no opportunity cost. Point C is currently impossible. For example, a firm that produces sanitary napkins at a large scale with productive labor and automation process may be achieve a very low cost for every unit. When it becomes possible for an entire economy, it is considered productive efficiency.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi madam, this is me, Amirul Pena. You can just call me Pena. Alright, so today I would like to present on how taxes can cause losses in efficiency in the competitive markets. Alright, okay, so first of all, as we know that taxes is used by the government to collect revenues for nation's welfare. This include for the taxes that being imposed to the private sectors, indirect taxes, and also for including the income taxes that have been imposed to each of legal workers in Malaysia. Okay, so do you know that the tax causes the amount of a good or services that is traded to be influenced by tax paid per unit of the good or per unit of the service, not only marginal social benefit or marginal social cost. Alright, and as well, taxes influence decisions to work by reducing the net gain from working. Okay, so how this can happen? Okay, for example, alright, as you can see here, extra work will equal to extra income as well as equal to extra taxes that workers need to pay. Okay, so this is the example of how the taxes can influence the losses in efficiency in competitive market. For another example, if workers they want to work overtime, okay, so they need not only for they need to bear the cost, which is the extra taxes that they need to pay. Not just they will have the extra income for their overtime working hours, and it also happen to bonus, alright, because you know, as a workers, when we perform in our job, we got extra bonus normally in private sector, but we also have to bear that every bonus that we receive need to be there's income tax that have been imposed on all that extra payment that we got. Okay, guys, now let's have a look on the examples of how the taxes can cause loss in efficiency in the competitive market. So what we got here, we got the examples of taxes on Honda City car sales. Alright, okay, so it's Honda City, guys, you know, one of the car dreams in Malaysia, okay, of each of Malaysians. Alright, so now let's have a look on the graph. Okay, from the graph, the demand curve represents the marginal social benefit of any number of quantity of Honda City sold in Malaysia in year of 2019, and points on the supply curve reflect the marginal social cost of the Honda City car price per unit. And now let's have a look on the equilibrium between the demand and supply. So the equilibrium output in the market indicated by point E, which is the equilibrium point, which is 16,300 unit of Honda City car on year of 2019, and the equilibrium price, which is 76,500 Honda City car per unit. Okay, so the market output is efficient because it determined by the intersection between point of marginal social cost Honda City car price per unit and its marginal social benefit. Alright, so my friend will explain how the taxes will, disrupt everything. Okay, thank you, madam.
The graph shows how a tax can prevent a competitive market from achieving the efficient output. For example, let's say the government levies a 2% of tax on the price of Honda City in 2019. Sellers must now consider the fact that each time they supply a car per unit, they must not only cover the marginal social cost of that unit, but also the 2% of tax. Therefore, the supply curve after tax becomes MPC plus D. The effect of the tax is decreasing the supply of the car, as the price required by producer to expand sales by 1 unit must equal the sum of the marginal private cost of the car price and also the tax per unit of car. As a result of the tax-induced decrease in supply, the point of equilibrium now corresponds to E prime. At that point, the price of Honda City has increased to 78,030 ringgit per unit, and the equilibrium output has fallen to 15,000 of quantity Honda City sold in 2019. As a result of the change in behavior caused by the tax, the marginal social benefit of Honda City now exceeds its marginal social cost. The loss in net benefit from Honda City sales is equal to the shaded area, which from E prime to E and B. As conclusion, when evaluating the marginal cost of a new government program, we must add any loss in net benefit from distortion in market behavior to the amount of additional tax revenue required to the finance program. Government spending programs can provide net benefit to citizens in the aggregate only when the marginal social benefit of additional spending exceeds both the tax revenue collected and ringgit values of the loss in efficiency in markets that occurs as a result of the distortion in choices by the tax.
Okay, that's all from us. Stay home, stay safe, and thank you.